It's usually raid and dungeon weapons that are the most sought after in Destiny, but sometimes, every now and then, a free-to-play weapon comes around and it blows the socks off of everyone. In Season of the Witch, we have been blessed with one of these weapons, and it's been flying under the radar of many so far. What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out today's video. Today I want to talk about the NOX Perennial V, a new fusion rifle available in Season of the Witch that's been surprisingly impressive. A one-of-a-kind fusion rifle that hits like a Mack truck. It offers incredible stats, top-tier weapon perks, and a unique origin trait that gives this legendary fusion rifle the power of an exotic. The most surprising thing about this weapon is that it's available to all players, as it's been placed into the world loot pool. The NOX Perennial is a Strand Kinetic high-impact frame fusion rifle, so it comes with a lot of range and a lot of impact. This fusion rifle comes with the wild card origin trait. Final blows with this weapon have a chance of creating experimental sub-munitions at the target's location. Defeating a rank and file enemy will create one of these sub-munitions, while champions and other high-level enemies can create up to 7. Other guardians will create 3. These sub-munitions are nothing more than a replication of the Telesto's signature perk, getting to harness the power of Telesto bolts into a legendary weapon. It's not only absurd, but it's incredibly awesome, especially when it's put into another fusion rifle. The new wildcard origin trait can also be found on a few other weapons this season: the Nightshade, the Showrunner, the Helicentric, the Persuader, and the Geodetic HSM. On creation, these small charges burst straight up into the air and stick onto any surface or enemy that's close by. These little charges will last for 10.5 seconds, but they'll instantly detonate when they come into contact with an enemy. Individually, these submunitions will inflict 38 points of base damage, with that amount getting scaled up to your power level. There is a 7-second cooldown between the generation of these charges, so you can't really spam them and manipulate them quite like you can with the Telesto. But when you defeat those high rank enemies and get 5 to 7 of these to spawn at once, the damage that's inflicted is insane. When the NOX Perennial gets the benefits of unstoppable rounds, these wildcard sub-munitions will stun unstoppable champions, and if you're able to time it out right, you can definitely use these to set up quick traps against your enemies. What really tips the scales with this fusion rifle is that it offers some of the best weapon perk combinations. So not only are you getting the flair of the Telesto, but you're getting a top-tier kinetic fusion rifle. In its left column, NOX Perennial can drop with Lead from Gold or Threat Detector, but the big perk to go for is Envious Assassin, which could see you having as many as 20 rounds in the magazine at once. Things get really interesting in the right column, because this can drop with Hatchlings or Collective Action, both of which are absolutely tremendous perks to have that synergize really well with Strand builds. You can also get Kickstart, which reduces the charge time by 20%, while providing a 20% increase in damage after sliding, a trait that will be very dominating in the Crucible. And we even get a max DPS perk in the right column with Controlled Burst, which is going to give us a 20% increase in damage and a 10% reduction in charge time when we land direct hits. At its base, this is a 960 charge time fusion rifle, so getting a charge time masterwork will be a lifesaver, especially when you're getting the benefits of reduced charge time with either Kickstart or Controlled Burst. The NOX Perennial can drop with Liquid Coils, which would increase that charge time just a little bit more, but at the same time, it would max out the impact, making a prominent impact in damage. This is already a nail dropper of a fusion rifle with its 95 base impact, so getting some of these S-tier perk combinations to go along with it really starts bringing up the value of this weapon, even more so when you factor in that it goes into the kinetic slot, which in turn can provide you with an excellent weapon to use against champions, tormentors, and bosses in dungeons, raids, or grandmasters. As I mentioned earlier, the NOX Perennial is available through World Loot Drops and through Banshee or Master Raoul Ingrams. Sadly, this is not a craftable weapon, but it is free to all players, and a weapon that you should most certainly check out for yourself. If you've already given this fusion rifle a try, then be sure to let us know your thoughts and impressions in the comments down below. That's going to wrap things up for today's video on the NOX Perennial, the best new free fusion rifle for Guardians to get. Thank you as always for checking out the video. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated, and both really do help support the channel. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.